People, humans of Earth, I'm back. I'm Commander J on Tracks. It is the 12th of August, 2021, and this is the Loose Cruise podcast. Like it or not, I'm here and I'm ready to be told about Elite Daedras by these fine chaps.
I thought this was a Dragon Ball Z podcast, podcast.
Yeah, it's a Dragon Ball Z podcast now, everybody. And you didn't even have to change the subscription in your podcast feed reader.
Which Goku? Question for the night. Which Goku is your favorite Goku? Everyone, go.
Yeah. So I don't know what any of those words mean, but I'm going to say the red one. Is there a red Goku?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
If I just
somewhere in Super,
If I just say Goku, can I be wrong? Because that's
all
of them.
Answer. It's a perfect answer.
Is that the perfect? Wow.
Yeah.
This is easier than I thought.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys seen Silicon Valley? Anybody? No?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's an HBO TV show for a while.
I haven't watched it. Yeah.
Well, then never mind. I'm not going to. I'm not going to say the thing that I was going to say. That was very. Anyway, the point is, I'm gonna list my compatriots from the middle out, and anybody who's seen Silicon Valley will know that that's very funny. Starting with Dubs. How are you doing today?
Oh, that's me. I'm doing fine, thank you. How's about you?
No, I go last.
Oh, do you?
Even though I'm sort of right next to you in the middle.
Yeah, you are. You're next, bud.
All right, fine. I'm good. I had a vacation. I met up with our friends, the co-host of my other podcast and his wife. We all got a cabin, spent some time away in the upstate of New York, and it was nice. We did some hiking, some bike riding, and drank a lot of wine and beer. And yeah, it was nice. I didn't play any Elite, and I got home and I didn't have the urge to play any Elite when I got home. So I played this other game, Into the Radius, which is a VR game that's crazy and wild survival horror VR game. And it's very fun and scary. And that's it. So yeah, I turned on Elite a few minutes ago. Here I am.
And here you are.
Told about it.
I've watched very little of your Twitch VOD, but I get strong. I get strong Annihilation vibes just from the little bit I've seen.
Yeah, it was
2018 movie.
Like there's a lot of inspiration from the Stalker series of games.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to ignore the setting being like this like Russian. Apocalyptic setting, and all the like bizarre physics-defying anomalies and monsters and stuff. So yeah, a lot from that. But yeah, it's like a totally from the ground up VR game in the sense that like you have to kind of manipulate everything, including like putting bullets into magazines to load them into guns, and cleaning the guns. And eating food, things like that. So sleeping is pretty good. It's basically, I've discovered that it's not that I didn't like survival games, it's that I don't like crafting in games. I don't care for that. So like that thing that you guys play where you're always building your bases and crafting all your potatoes and your, I need more iron for the whatever. That's not for me. I'm not dissing it or anything. But this game has all the survival stuff, but I don't have to build anything. It's just a matter of like staying alive in a horrifyingly intense environment.
Tell them about how you got scared through your handgun like 3 times.
Well, because you have to do all this stuff, right? So I need to put a gun down before I can take out another gun, And so it's like I run out of bullets or realize that's the wrong gun to be using against this particular monster, and then accidentally throw it on the ground because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and accidentally, and then I start trying to hit it with a knife, and I'm just like wildly flailing my arms around. And
you're supposed to stab. Throwing knives doesn't seem to work too well.
Well, that monster's just too fast. The throwing is pretty good sometimes, but
what do you mean? You literally never killed one with a throwing knife?
I never killed one by stabbing either. It's because I didn't know what I was doing.
Fair enough.
It turns out that monster is, but it's like this weird spider thing. The trick is, after it leaps at you, it sort of like has to collect its thoughts. So the trick is you just move sideways and it misses you, and then you could just stab it with impunity while it sits there and wiggles. So anyway, this is
what's the name of that one? This game?
The game's called Into the Radius. It was out in like pre-release for quite a while, but it's in a 1.0 now. It's pretty good. Although they're working on a beta that's for a 2.0 that is like vastly changes a ton in the game. So you could play it now and then totally replay it in maybe September whenever they finish that thing and stuff. It's pretty fun. Okay, that felt like a lot of talking, but that's what I've been doing. Let's see. Let's go next to Lieutenant Commander Data. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I haven't had much elite time this week either, between real life busyness and trying out a couple other games. I picked up Dishonored, a game from 2012 on Steam for like $2-3.
Oh my god.
Having fun with it. I'm enjoying
that's like
the stealth.
Hours percent of entertainment. That's like tens of hours percent right there.
Well, there's this YouTube channel called No Clip. They do documentaries on video game developers about the games they made, and they did one on Arcane Studios not too long ago. And I saw him talk about this game, and I kept an eye out for it since. So yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying the stealth and the magic system in it. Plus, there's hordes of plague-ridden rats roaming around the city you have to watch out for.
Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, so having fun with that. Just played through one map on the Back 4 Blood beta just before we started recording. It's a few of us here into Left 4 Dead, but I try that out since it's made by the same studio that made Left 4 Dead. And it's pretty much what it is. Just a new one of those. Looks nice. The guns I've tried felt good. A little bit more. They bring upgrade systems into it more for your equipment stuff than Left 4 Dead did.
They're gonna mess it up just like engineering did.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't know if I like is that part of it. I like Left 4 Dead. You can just start playing. It starts you.
Yeah, I don't want to think. I just want to grab a gun and shoot.
Yeah, it drops you right into the campaign. There's no setting up loadouts or card decks or anything like that. Left 4 Dead. That's been most of my time this week.
Nifty. Oh my gosh.
Well, now.
Hold on. Nobody say anything. Nobody freak out. Hey, Chig, how's it going, man? How are you doing this week?
I'm super happy you're back. I'm glad you had fun on your vacation. I have been playing a lot of Elite. I'm still plant hunting. I still, saying, later suckers, because I'm like 30,000 light years from the bubble. And
you say that now?
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I still say it. I say it every time I leave a planet. I go down, scan some plants, and as I leave the planet, I call the plant suckers because Spaceman is just real. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
Nurgle, how are you, sir? How's your new microphone?
Well, you tell me. I can't hear myself. So
sounds good. How are you doing this week?
I'm actually about 2 hours into a session of Elite tonight, and I think that's the most I have played this week. It's been a really busy week with work and everything, so I'm actually trying to get some space trucking in and work on our BGS tonight.
Right on.
Office is still riddled with the Rona, so wash your hands, you filthy animals.
Yeah. Put a mask on your face and whatnot. Don't go
Yep.
inside places. Darn it.
And go get your vaccination.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't
all
leave
right.
the house.
Hey,
Don't interact
yeah.
with people. You
Well,
can't go wrong if you just don't interact with people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not wrong. That's not wrong.
Introverts of the world unite separately in your own
Right.
homes.
Right. Very far from each other. Ty Worsham, how are you doing, man?
Hey guys.
There it is.
So I got some news and I wanted to share it with everybody. Number one, last
You're
week.
canceling the podcast.
No. Unless y'all are just tired of doing it. But anyway, this is episode 100. We'll have to talk about that if y'all are tired of doing it. But anyway, number one is last week I took off and went to vacation. It was weird how that lined up. I took my second vacation this year, and we went to Colorado, Utah, Grand Canyon. Colorado is gorgeous but treacherous. There were some mudslides on I-70. We actually got stuck because Google routed us around on top of this mountain going down these dirt roads. I'm a little fuel efficient sedan, and the damn Google routed us around, and I thought, well, yeah, we can totally do these dirt roads in the middle of rain and mudslides, and we got stuck. As soon as we got stuck, man, let me tell you, as soon as we got stuck, like I'm in like well, we're screwed, we're stuck. I'm shit out of luck here.
Deciding who you're going to eat first.
Like, as soon as we got stuck, my girlfriend hops out of the car without even talking about it. Like, it's like seconds after we were stuck, hops out of the car and starts pushing. And she says, all right, so do this. And she directs us clear. And we were like free in like 5 minutes.
Keeper.
It blew my mind. Yeah, exactly. So
wait. Hold on. Can she make a sandwich though?
Oh yes.
All right.
Yeah. So
Seal
we
the deal.
went. So I didn't really have a good time in Colorado. One, because of that, because I don't know, it just didn't really jive with me, you know. But then we went to Utah, and I got to touch a dinosaur bone for the very first time. I got a picture of me. I gave Nicole a phone and said, "Here, take a picture of me touching this dinosaur bone." And she goes, "What are you, 12?" And I said, "Just take a picture of me taking this dinosaur bone."
Yes, take a picture.
So she took a picture of me touching the dinosaur bone, and I have that for the rest of my life. And Utah is gorgeous. The people who live in Utah, I am jealous. That might be my retirement state, assuming it doesn't go completely insane with socialism. But, you know.
Yeah, I've been to Salt Lake City a bunch of times in the surrounding area a little bit too. Utah is beautiful.
I've flown there once before, but it was just a layover thing, so I didn't even leave the airport. So I don't really count that as going there, you know. But,
yeah, see, I would have a work thing every spring where I'd go out there and be there for 3 or 4 days each time. So yeah, I'm very familiar with Utah.
Yeah, but then we went south to Arizona, and she took me to the Grand Canyon, so I got to cross that off the bucket list. So I got to see the Grand Canyon. It was gorgeous. And then
it's pretty grand.
It's pretty grand. Yeah, it's pretty grand. And then I proposed to her.
Woo. Wait, what'd she say?
Dude, why?
I know, right?
Wait,
no, we already talked about why.
Did you hear when she pushed my car out of the ditch?
Yeah, he already said she could make a sandwich.
So she pushes. Yeah, she proposed. She said yes. So she has been promoted from a girlfriend to fiance. So
cool.
All right.
Well, my condolences, man. I mean, congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Wrong C word.
I thought I would announce that on the 100th episode. So
100th episode.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, I never got myself in the habit of saying an episode number. So even though they had Chig mentioned this before we started recording, I still forgot to say anything about it. Yeah, it's the 100th episode.
Well, it's a little weird because it's the 100th official episode, but I don't know, like 40 or so episodes ago, we had the actual 100th because we had interviews and stuff like that in there too. So
yeah, it's the 100th that has a number on it.
right.
But we didn't really plan anything special
Nope.
for it. We're just going to do a podcast.
That's because next week is the official 2-year anniversary of Loose Cruise. For those that don't know, the actual launch date was August 23rd, but because that falls, I believe, on a Tuesday, like I'm not going to try to line it up then. We're just going to do an episode on Thursday. We're going to do some cool stuff. I got some cool stuff sort of kind of planned. I'll go over with y'all later.
Super.
But
okay, I won't be here next week, just so you know. I'll be out in Teflon's territory. I'm going to be over in South Dakota. I'm doing a vacation now. Me and the wife and daughter, we're going to go see Mount Rushmore and Custer Park and shit.
Yeah.
So have fun.
I got some things planned. I haven't got a chance to talk with you guys about it yet because I've been in and about, and I've been completely wrapped up in No Man's Sky. So that's been my time. That's all I got to say. So.
Yeah. Well, cool. Happy for you, man. Glad to see you also. And I was also going to say, I think you guys did a fantastic job last week. I know there was much talk about how weird it was, but it didn't sound that weird. And I absolutely love all the fun new phrases. And I don't know if you're trying to scare me off, but you're doing exactly the opposite if you were trying to scare me off from letting you host the show.
God, don't make me do that again.
He did great.
It'll only go downhill from there. If that's the high point of me hosting, just know where this could go.
Next week, it's the Chig show. That's the surprise.
What we should do is
Chig chokes the chieftain.
We should all get together in Texas and take Ty out on a bachelor party thing and just record that as the podcast.
Oh my God.
That's an average idea.
There is a, I'm not going to tell you where you can find it, but there is a video floating around of drunk Ty passed out on the floor. And last time I checked, it was still internet accessible. So.
Okay. So your work cut out for you, listeners.
I'd avoid making that public knowledge, but too late.
Yeah, I mean, my friends were cool enough to put it on public. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Please tell me you did air quotes when you said friends at that point.
Oh, no. I mean, you have to know this guy. He was super cool. We're actually still friends. So.
You have to be his friend, or he'll blackmail you with that video.
No, I mean it was a kind of a, I won't say mutual thing. It was a friendly thing. It wasn't nothing really bad. So it's just me passed out and snoring. That's it. So.
All right. Well then, shall we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So I think let's start. Let's do a squadron briefing.
Do the thing.
Oh yes, let's.
Incoming priority message. Squadron briefing.
So last week we started off the squadron briefing with peace and prosperity reigned throughout our realm because there was nothing going on. This week it all went to hell. We blew that out of the window at a trot. So we're in expansion mode. So we're working a system back up. We're in expansion mode. We have managed to fill the expansion cube for Maikoro, which is the system we're expanding from, which means for the first time in quite a while, we have complete control over our destiny, where we're going. We've picked out a target. We're working a system. All of those details are in the standing orders channel on the Discord. We have a minor faction war going on in V640, which is part of the ongoing, continuing struggles to pacify that system. In this case, we have a vested interest in who wins, and again, that information is in the standing orders. Hellssina Knights, who's a friendly neighbor faction of ours, I wanted to bring this up. They've been off and on in BGS for a while. Their membership has fluctuated. They're trying to reestablish themselves now. They are fighting the fednecks in LTT 17102 to regain control of their home system. So if anybody is in the area and would like to help them out, they would absolutely appreciate that. They've got a war going on, so they're CZs.
And would like to blow up feds.
And would like to blow up feds. We always encourage blowing up feds. And when you get to help a friend doing it, it's just a double bonus. And then I wanted to mention that Brotherhood of Terra Mater, who are also some friendly neighbors that we have talked about before, they are an Anarchy faction, and Odyssey has not been good to Anarchy factions. They're still struggling to try to maintain some sense of order in most of their systems, but as recently as a couple of days ago, they had 6 concurrent wars going on in their systems. They have finally reached the stage where they have no wars at the moment. And I think they honestly don't know what to do with themselves at the moment. But
wow.
Yeah, Odyssey is still rough on Anarchy factions. There's still some work that needs to be done there. But we've got plenty going on. Our neighbors have got plenty going on. And if anybody wants to help out, there's information on all of this in the daily orders and the standing orders channel. We update that every day with what's going on. And then myself or Hate will be more than happy to respond to questions in the BGS channel or in questions or really anywhere if you want to know what's going on. Oh, and I think we should mention congratulations to Hate, who just had a baby yesterday. Well,
yeah,
his wife had a baby yesterday. So there's a little Hateling out there, and he's currently not sleeping.
Hey, sidebar on there. Are we going with baby hate or are we going with hateling? I've heard of both.
I'm going with Hateling.
I like Hateling.
I was going with NL Baby, but
that's good too.
Well, wait, what did he? I thought he said it was NL Rage, or I don't know, because there's a family naming scheme, I guess, as far as names are concerned, at least. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't get to decide what we call his kid. Are you
Baby Malice. Baby Malice.
Baby Malice. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm still going with Hateling.
All right. Okay. Thanks for the update. Get in there and BGS, you fools.
Plenty to do. Next up, Galnet Recap. I summon Dubs. Dubs, I choose you. I didn't know which one to go with. I went Pokemon. Dubs, I choose you.
Okay, I guess that's me. So I'm not going to go overboard. We're going to give the quick and dirty version of it. The feds continue to get their teeth kicked in. 4 new factions have seceded, taking, 28 systems with them?
28, yes.
And I foresee this happening more and more and more until they quit their bullshit. The Far God megaships are just about ready to go poke around and fuck around and find out with the Goids. I don't know. Maybe they'll get probed. Maybe they're into that shit. I'm not going to judge them. For some reason, they thought it important to tell us that some old hag named Zemina Torval created the new corporation. Why? I don't care, but it's probably for evil. Also, the mining lances really suck. Aegis is now being investigated on why they suck so much at their job despite receiving support from all 3 superpowers. And the Marlinists are taking their infighting to the next level with a full-out war as if the Empire didn't already have enough to hate them for. That's
mining lances only suck because we can't engineer them.
No, they just
still suck.
Yeah.
They're only good for one thing, and that is the wings of the cutter.
Yeah, not enough. Not good enough. All right.
Super duper. All right. So now we're into the business, the business. So as far as I'm concerned, and please tell me, but I only saw one piece of news this week, and that was that the Tuesday Supercruise news stream contained some Supercruise news. And that was a show off of the Apex redirect system that will be coming in, I guess, probably the next update. And then this beautiful, glorious issue report table, which is essentially looks quite a lot like the way Microsoft Flight Simulator has been running their development updates, and is basically exactly what everyone's been asking for. So, top 20 issues, a status, a basic status for each of them, and kind of a at least rough timeline for each of them as well, even if it says we don't know.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
love that.
wanted.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I'm completely behind this turn of events.
Yeah. Fabulous job. Now, somebody who's been playing Elite in the past week, what's your should you want to go down the line? There's only 20 of them. I don't know. What do we do?
I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So, problems with lighting and illumination. It says it's fixed. But I'm being interdicted.
What was that? Was that space is too dark, space is too bright?
Yeah, so I think it's listed as fixed in update 6.
Yeah.
However,
Liar.
well, they're just considering it like still like we're not saying that we're not going to pay attention to it.
I think it was more
that fixed means that they've instituted a fix and they're seeing if we're happy with it. Is what that
fixed means they fixed something, not that it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good way of putting
they put a fix in. Yes.
What about the issue where planets suddenly get brighter as you get closer to the other side?
I don't know
Is that
anything
part
about
of
it.
is that part of that lighting issue?
No, but I heard that was related to the angle of your cockpit versus the star and where the light is coming from, and it's getting translated to the planets. So it sounds like they've identified the issue. Now,
all right.
Whether how quick a fix, I don't know, but
all right. Yeah, I haven't seen too many issues with the lighting. I kind of like where the lighting's at right now. You know, you have the couple weird things once in a while, but man, compared to where it was at launch, I think they're doing good. Good job, guys.
Next one's terrain textures degraded in Odyssey compared to Horizons. I mean, last I played, they were looking better to me. Like a few planets up and down on.
Yeah, I've been on hundreds of planets, and I'm actually impressed with how things look now. Yeah, things are working.
Have you been looking out for the tiling of features? They looked like they were copying and somehow inadvertently copy pasting.
That's item 3
things.
I have not. Honestly, I haven't noticed it, but I haven't been actively looking for it. But it's definitely not jumping out as something that's still a problem because I'm not like, oh my God, look at that. That's ridiculous. I'm seeing a lot of diversity and I'm not seeing that tiling effect.
So the tiling effect is shows as item 3 on this chart. And this is in order of when they're like how many upvotes they have, and then they have a little tracker for whether they've gone up recently, like in votes. So that's nice. But anyway, so the tiling is shown as investigating, and they have no timeline. But essentially, they don't know, or they know what's causing it, but they don't know how to fix it exactly. And it seemed like, from what they were saying, that it would surely involve some change. It's happening because of something that's happening when they're generating the planets. So. If it gets fixed, it would probably involve a reroll of planets, or at least their textures. I don't know if the terrain matters or if it's just a texture. Because is it just from space?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know.
All I know is when upgrade 6 or update 6 or whatever that nomenclature they're using for their updates, all the planets looked quite a bit different and seem to fix a lot of stuff, and that seems to have maybe fixed a lot of that issue, and they're just watching for it again because I don't know, somebody's gonna be like, dude, it's everywhere, you're an idiot. So I'll wait till somebody enlightens me, but I haven't been seeing it.
Well, they were definitely treating it as a separate issue when they talked about it on stream. So I don't know what to make of that, but
yeah.
So lower FPS performance in Odyssey. I guess this is like since update 5 and or 6.
Definitely
some chatter about that today in Discord. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, we definitely have at least one commander in our Discord who is still having issues after update 6.
Well, okay, so but when you say still having issues, I think this particular thing isn't just generalized performance. This is like it got worse with update 5 or 6.
Yeah, I believe he did say it got worse.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Moving on.
It's been fine for me since the update. So
Right.
I get like
Uh,
one crash a day right now is the only thing that I've had. Performance-wise, the game runs really good. I mean, I'm consistently 80 to 100 frames per second, and I don't have any real glitching. I seem to be running well, but it crashes. I get one crash where I send a report every day. So
All right.
take it for what it is.
You send a report, meaning you send the crash report.
The crash report. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't go
Gotcha.
vote on the issue tracker.
All right. So let's see. What do we have next here is limited gameplay during Apex shuttles. So apparently this is submitted as a bug, which is so funny to me. But
yeah.
but anyway, yeah. So but it's on there as what's the status of that one? Sorry, I get another friggin'
In
Python wants
progress.
frag cannons in progress. Okay,
And
so they're actually trying to do something about it. That's
well,
fun.
they say
Yeah.
nothing to share at this time. Is how it's the response below the image. They respond a
All
little
right.
bit to each of
We
these.
acknowledge that it's a problem. We have no idea what to do about it.
I mean, I don't know what people
Technically,
want.
adding redirect is adding gameplay.
Hey, there you go.
You can harass
just
your taxi
redirect
driver
forever.
and redirect him. You know, I don't know.
Well, see, the way I look at it, if we can pick up a passenger mission and that asshole wants to change his destination once he's on board, we should be able to do that in Apex.
Oh sure.
So it's just fair gameplay.
Let me ask you guys something about that. What sort of okay? I don't see that as like gameplay that like limited gameplay. I see that as like, well, that's just the limitation. You're taking a flight path. That's you have to wait for it.
It's the price. It's the price of having somebody else fly
Price of laziness.
I kind of
Yeah.
I kind of compare it to.
Are you arguing against the redirect or against adding gameplay to that scenario?
Well, I guess what I'm asking is like, what sort of gameplay do people really want out of that? Like,
I
do
would
they
love
want it
to
to where
talk
you?
about that.
Let me get up and walk around. Let me go down to the cargo bay and fight another passenger.
There's no gameplay in ship interiors.
Okay.
Okay. So I've heard things floated like, well, CQC for one thing, but that seems like it'd be hard. Or playing Elite 1981 on a little monitor inside the ship.
Oh,
These are the
God.
kinds of things. Well, you don't think so? Okay, tell me why. I mean, they own
it
it.
just doesn't seem like something they would do. I don't know. It'd be too meta, right?
Well, okay. Let's play Peggle then. Let's do that. Let's play solitaire. I mean, it gets a. I mean, this is a WoW, a World of Warcraft flight path is what we're talking about. You know,
Pretty
I mean,
much, yeah.
it's a boat it's a ship from EverQuest. You're just gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand what people expect out of that. I feel like that's something they should just delete and say, just drive
over
there,
it.
guys. Everybody's got a spaceship. Just go there your damn self.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you want gameplay in transit, fly your own fucking ship. Just saying.
I think it'd make
Chig said it best. It's the price of laziness.
Yep.
Yeah,
Laziness tax.
It really feels like them just kind of pandering a little bit here. And I don't mean that to sound negative on them, because I get how they have to do that a little bit. But at the same time, I'm sitting there going, what? Like,
I just can't believe that this has got the 5th most votes or whatever as far as issues. I mean,
what do you want?
This says more about the player base than
It does. It does.
Like, I can remember taking 5-6 minute flights in World of Warcraft back in the day, and I had a little Peggle add-on. I sat there and played Peggle while I was on the flight path. I didn't expect to do anything different.
This is when people get to get a cup of coffee, right?
Now
Exactly.
the redirect or cancel flight. Okay, there's an argument for that. I'm okay with that. Like, let me turn the ship around. I'm okay with that. But like,
yeah, that's totally different.
Yeah, well, there should be some gameplay here. I don't like. Aside from having a ship interior where you can walk around, which will probably never exist in this game at this point, what do y'all want?
I want some gameplay from my ship to when you're in the hangar running to the space station. Maybe we get shot at, or maybe face huggers are crawling around and we got to avoid them.
Dubs, what do you want?
So let me tell you guys about this magical thing called a second monitor, and you can just do something else. Just literally go do something else on another monitor.
Second monitor. Are you a peasant or something?
Yeah, second. No, if you don't have at least 3 monitors, you're not allowed to play Elite anymore.
And the
Shut it down.
proper RGB RAM.
Yeah, and proper
Shutting
RGB
down.
RAM.
I fully support this opinion.
Wait,
I do too. Who's buying me extra monitors?
Do the screens inside my VR headset count as monitors?
Yeah, you got
Yes.
two screens in there. Yeah.
So technically, I
'cause
have
you can
3.
do virtual monitors. Yeah, you're good.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
yeah, get to
in.
keep playing, not Odyssey.
Woo!
It just
Even-
seems like a ridiculous thing that should be 5th. I feel like there's way bigger problems. I feel like at the very least, number 7 should be 5th, or
yeah.
you know, like number 9 should be 5th, or number 8 should be 5th. I feel like it's. I don't know what people want.
Okay.
I don't get that one at all.
Since this turned out to be a hot, juicy potato, let me frame it like this and see. What do you guys think of this? Maybe this is a generational gap in the Elite player base, because we know that there's quite a wide age.
Who are you
variance,
calling
right?
old?
Like this game skews old compared to a lot of games, but it's not only old players that play it, such as
There's a
myself.
wide
I'm
age
including
gap.
myself in the old category.
There's a wide age gap in this podcast.
There is that. Okay, but the older people were playing, or perhaps just have been playing the game for a long time, existed before the Supercruise assist module. And this is like, well, now my ship is Supercruise assisting and I can't even steer it away from the Supercruise assist. Now I need to have my handheld, or I need to have something. I can't bear to have that. So this is also like, I'm thinking this is a young generation thing, because maybe they joined the game later, and after Supercruise assist, maybe they're just these young people that are on my lawn and they just never stop looking at their phones, and they can't bear to be unentertained for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, discuss.
No doubt that is part of it. No doubt.
But it made it to 5th.
Well, because there's a lot of those little script kiddies who vote.
Script kitties. Tell me, what's a script kitty?
What?
That's an old man phrase for people who ran scripts and macros in games. Script kiddies.
Oh, Dubs, did you hear what he just said?
I did hear it, and I feel like I was being directly attacked.
No, in games, no.
Shut up, kid.
Get off my lawn.
That's
No,
all right. I'll find him and open eventually.
Illegal, non-sanctioned, exploitive. Yeah, but that's an old man expression.
Let me ask this. I feel like the majority of us in this podcast are fairly intelligent people. I feel like the majority of us in this podcast are, I don't want to put it. I feel like that we play a healthy amount of video games. I feel like we all play different video games for the most part. I feel like we've been playing this game for a while, and I think there's a fairly decent age range in all of us. Aside from redirecting the shuttle, is there anybody here who thinks there needs to be more gameplay?
No.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but I feel like there's other more pressing things that they should be focusing on.
That's my point.
That this topic is, we've gone on this one for this long. This is killing me.
I wouldn't be mad if they added another feature that I could just ignore. Whatever. If somebody wants it, throw it in there. But we should probably do the things that are more important first.
Yeah, that's
like
where
ship
I'm
interiors.
Yeah, and
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to adding gameplay there, but it's not 5th on the list.
No.
It's 500th on the list.
And I figure it'll just linger on the list wherever it is for a long time. And
right,
If this is on the
it'll get
list,
addressed.
people asking for more gameplay, while in the shuttle, why can't ship interiors be on the tracker? Because this is basically just asking for more content while you're in a shuttle. I want more content while in my ship, so give me ship interiors. Let's vote that one up.
Yeah.
Ship
Well,
interiors.
get out there and vote, right?
Yeah, Chig, do
All
more
right.
than just submit the report. Get in there and vote.
Yeah.
That sounds like work. I'll pass.
Okay. All right. Number 6. Game hangs on exit sometimes. That's the phrasing. Is just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's accurate.
This they
10?
definitely thought that they had repaired. I thought. I thought
They
that was
announced that it was one of
I-
the repairs in 6, and now it says that it's
Right.
going to be fixed in 7. So, all right.
Oh, so maybe it got pushed, or it's not totally fixed. Okay,
No,
so Invincible Thargoid Heart, number 7, been there since the beginning of the game. Still investigating. In fact, there's a thread on the forum. Now, I recall some weeks ago AXI feeling like they really had something localized, and they had a lot of pretty
Yes.
detailed information about it. Now, on the stream, FDev said that they were pushing for more information from people. There was a thread where you can help them, and they suggested that they are currently thinking it has to do with, or it is at least more likely to happen when there are people in a wing who are in different countries from each other, which would totally mean that they at Frontier can't internally test it, right? At least not by themselves. So,
I have something
Anyway.
to say on this.
yes.
Okay. This bug has been in since day one, to my knowledge, ever since Thargoids were put in the game.
Yep.
And they keep saying
thought
they're
they
collecting
fixed it
more
a bunch
data
of
on it.
times.
Let me tell you right now, at this point, you need to hire a different programmer. Because 6 years, you couldn't figure it out. 6 years, you're still collecting data. You can't figure this out.
I'll go one step further. How on earth has instancing got to work if a bunch of different people in a wing all end up in the same instance and the Thargoid heart freaks out because people are from different countries? What on earth have you done, FDev, for that to happen?
That's a very good
Why
point.
does it care?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
If you reference the AXI hypothesis, I guess it's something. Because we're all peer to peer. One of the computers is the boss essentially. Something has to be the arbiter of like what is actually true and where things are. So
What is the host?
It's not. Yeah, it's like not really. It's not really a host, but they are still like kind of their computer is the one that's in charge.
Right.
And when somebody joins, they think when somebody joins after the Thargoid is already in the instance, there's this chance where it changes who's the host. And in that change could change which heart is the next heart on the line, and it could be one that's already destroyed. And that's essentially what's happening. I think that's how I understand it. But if this change of who's the host kind of only happens when there's somebody from another country, like you say they get another programmer. Well, if it's another programmer from the UK, then they might not be able to test it any better than they could before.
Yeah, I hear that. My whole thing is that like they've been chasing this bug for 6 years now, 7 years now, whatever it is, and the
devs
figure it out.
Yeah. Why can't they, they're in all these discords, be like, hey, can this player, will you join us to see if we can replicate this bug, knowing, they're from different countries, and then you can test it and try to troubleshoot it that way. It wouldn't be hard for them to get people to network with them from other countries.
Well, can you use like
playing games on the job, CMs.
Yeah, can't you tunnel with a VPN? Yeah, that's what you're about to say, right?
Well,
Yeah.
This is the thing. They have a whole group of people from AXI that are saying this is the problem. Why don't they hop on the AXI Discord server and say, hey, can we get 4 or 5 of you guys to help us out? Are you telling me that they're not going to jump in on that? I mean,
they totally will.
Look, I'm at a point right now where it is laziness. They have not fixed this bug. You haven't figured out 6 years. You have multiple people in your community that are trying to help you to figure it out, and your response is gathering information. No, you're lazy at this point.
Yeah, and I don't think it's laziness. 6 years working on the same problem and not being able to fix it is incompetence, not laziness. In my opinion. It sounds like they're trying to fix it, but they just don't know how to fix it.
Which is, okay. Look, I work in IT. Whenever I can't figure something out, I call folks. I go get help. I seek help. I seek other people to help me out.
Oh, you should seek help.
Aw.
Just kidding.
No, help is good. No, don't tell him not to seek help. Help is good.
Oh, yeah. The guy's getting married. All right. Moving on.
Hot takes in here. Okay, what are we on? 8, anti-aliasing working correctly. Funny, this just comes up right after they put in all that AMD FSR stuff. But yeah, anti-aliasing has never really been good in this game. It's been quite poor forever. And especially in a situation where there's all kinds of harsh angles because of the blackness of space, you really needed like a temporal anti-aliasing to prevent the shimmer and stuff. But anyway, they never had it. So, but they suggested on the stream that this is on the list to be worked on and that there would be a significant anti-aliasing revamp coming at some point. Did they put a time on this? 2021. So in progress. I'd be excited about that if it comes to Horizons, but probably won't. I don't think they're working on Horizons anymore. But anyway, that's cool, right? Anti-aliasing. Does anybody have a hot take on that?
No.
Anybody hate anti-aliasing?
I am pro anti-aliasing.
All right. What else? Joystick buttons plus 32 and up not working, or I guess 33 and up. Great. Good
Back
job.
in my day,
Okay.
we had
That'd be cool to
5
fix.
buttons, and we were happy.
5. Back in my day, we had 1.
What do we need 33 buttons for now?
To my knowledge, it's actually a Windows limitation. I don't
That's what I
think
thought.
that's
And I
a.
heard it's a DirectX limitation.
If it's a Windows
actually.
limitation, then how does Joystick Gremlins see it?
Yeah, you can
Joystick
work around
Gremlins
it.
is just a program.
Oh,
Elite
that's a
Dangerous
good
should be able to
point.
see it in the same manner.
Yeah,
That's a damn
it's
good
just
point.
it's just how simply you're addressing the controllers.
This would go to Ty's laziness comment with them because they just haven't instituted their own kind of VJoy solution to the problem. Like Microsoft Flight Simulator can see more than 32 buttons. You know, other games can see more buttons. They just haven't taken the time to put in a button emulator into the game proper.
Yeah, it's
so we all have
just
to
an
use
abstraction
choice.
layer.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So
Well, anyway,
laziness.
hopefully that won't take long. So they've got that listed as not started, but whatever. Who knows? Exposed telemetry data for motion simulators. I sort of feel like I thought I've seen videos of people using sim pits that had motion sim for this game, but I must be making that up.
Blaster, the number 2 CQC guy with like 65,000 kills or whatever he's got, just a huge number.
Yeah.
He plays in a full motion simulator rig. You can actually YouTube him and watch him flying his crazy rig.
It's the
Here
ones
they're saying it doesn't surface the data.
He somehow gets it.
It either there's something in one of the log files he's reading, or it's just reading input from his controls.
That's exactly the thing. He has it set towards it's reading the inputs from the controls, so it doesn't actually read stuff like shakes and stuff like that. Which I don't know if you would even get that in a motion control, but apparently they had it going in one of the versions or one of the patches of Horizons, and then they took it out for whatever reason. I think they were afraid of some sort of cheat is why they took it out. So,
well, that falls in line with the kind of language they were using on stream about this, because it was they were considering investigating that. Like, they weren't sure if they would be willing to do it, kind of thing. So, let's see, empty non-human signal sources. Empty non-human signal sources is number, 11? In progress. Scheduled for update 7. Great.
Woohoo!
That was just broken recently, wasn't it?
Yep.
Cool. Increased performance problems. Let's see. This is new.
As number 4,
this is the since
essentially.
update 5. So they're telling me that I'm a liar about what I thought number 4 was. Low performance in Odyssey is the generalized low performance in Odyssey.
Yeah, there's a pill for that.
Is it available without a prescription?
I don't know. Some dude from India keeps calling me, offering me them. So yeah.
All right. So what is Supercruise stuck at 0 time remaining with the tunnel forming? What is that? Tell me about
That
that.
happens all the time. That's been happening
Forever,
for a long time. It's the old tunnel, tunnel.
Yeah,
That's just
tunnel,
that turns into
water
an orange Sidewinder error?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
That's what
why
I
didn't
think
they
it is
say that?
anyways. I don't know.
Oh,
Why did they describe it in a way that no player of this game has ever said?
Because they're being obtuse.
They don't play. Yeah, I don't know.
It's either lazy or incompetence. We've determined that. So we'll go
The
with
two answers
lazy.
for everything. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope that patch pushes down to Horizons
Okay,
because
everyone,
experience that.
everyone, go upvote a new issue. That issue number 13 is called the wrong thing. Make a new issue to rename another issue on the issue tracker.
I love this.
God. It's a
love this.
meta issue.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on? Fleet carrier modules and finances not counted toward your assets. What's the? Who
cares?
Why is this a high priority issue?
Is that an Inara thing?
That is some
When does
anal little nerd is just annoyed that
That is
Well, no,
exactly what
my carrier is a 5 billion credit asset. It must be shown. Jesus.
Where does it
Inara
show your
counts-
assets in game? Where does it show your
Hold on.
assets in
Nowhere.
game?
I
Let's see,
know.
right
Oh, no,
panel.
it's somewhere in the codex.
Codex Commander stats.
Codex.
Current assets. Yeah.
Huh.
Current assets are. Yeah, it says I have like 5 billion in assets. And
Yeah.
That's definitely not counting my carrier. However, that is
Carrier
wildly
has its own list
wrongly
of things,
prioritized.
so, but
Yeah.
I just want to go to record saying that the 134 people who are voting for that, you need to really evaluate the priorities in your life.
They have. This is their priority.
Imagine the person who cares this much about that doesn't have an Inara account actually tracking the way more detailed information that they could ever get than from the game. I don't understand any of that. Okay, I think we are all in agreement there. NPC fighter kills in conflict zones count toward progress.
Shouldn't they? If
Yeah,
they're
shouldn't
NPC
they?
Are they
fighters?
saying
Yeah.
Are they saying when your fighter shoots down another ship, it shouldn't count?
No, maybe they finally fixed the fighter bug.
Or you can
What's
kill
the
your
fighter
fighter
bug?
and lose a
Where losing the fighter counted as a lost ship.
Oh, so the fighter getting killed. Yeah, no, that shouldn't count because that's not the mothership, and no, they can rebuild those.
Because if you wanted to, you could go into a CZ, join the side you wanted to lose the war, and then just send fighters out and let them die, and lose CZs in incredibly rapid fashion that way.
how would it be that
Okay.
much faster though? Because you still have to wait to deploy the next fighter. You can almost kill
Yeah, but
ships
easy
faster
kill though,
than
right?
that.
Well, I assume you're killing them at the same time, right? So, okay, let me.
I know
look
the
closely
wording
at
on it is even. I don't even like the wording of that one.
Yeah.
We need to start an issue tracker to have them reword that one too.
They
Yeah.
do, yeah.
Does-
All right.
We're assuming that's what they mean. We don't know that's what they mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't know what 15 means. Okay, so 16 support missions have been called. That's in progress for update 7. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Are there no more power restore missions or something like that popping up? I have no idea. That's what I get from it.
Okay, so some mission types disappeared. All right, they're planning to come back. They said update 7 was probably coming in September. Didn't have a date yet. Probably September. Okay. Previously present codex entry is now missing. Great. They're investigating it. System and galaxy
How's
map.
that the 17th? Oh my
How
God.
vague.
Hey, 83 people who voted for that. What?
Okay.
I mean, whatever.
yeah.
I mean, how many votes do you get on the issue tracker? Is it just one?
Per
count.
thing,
By
yeah.
count, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, because one thing they were saying on stream as well, just to understand the issue tracker, is if you can repurpose your vote. Like, so basically, if this says it's done and it's going to be in update 7, by all means repurpose your vote now, kind of
You can
thing.
only
So
vote
that's
for one
another
issue.
value of this
That's-
chart, right?
Okay.
Right. So what are we on? 18. System and galaxy map management in widescreen aspect ratios. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd love the widescreen stuff to actually line up correctly.
Yeah, that's just a funky problem. This is one. This reminds me of the 32 key thing. It's something that they could fix. They just haven't bothered to fix. So
well, right. It means that there was something lazy about the way they wrote the interface in the first place. That looking at it in different resolutions would change the way it works. Like it shouldn't. If it was written correctly, there's no reason it should be based on the aspect ratio of your screen, right? I mean,
where your cursor appears and what pops up. Yeah,
it's sort of like if your screen's too wide, then it'll think your cursor is in a different spot. Like, well, then you're definitely doing your cursor wrong.
Yeah. Why is it only in the maps? That's what's even weirder about it. You know, it's such a weird freaking problem. You'd think that would be everywhere in your menus, you know, but no, it's only in the maps. I don't know. I think, you know, whoever wrote some of the code in this game was just super drunk and got fired for being a lush, and he's not around to fix it. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm convinced that some of this code is like holdover from some other roller coaster game they made, and it's just they're like I don't know why this train won't go up the mountain.
Yeah, it's weird.
You're not wrong.
Maybe it's because you're playing a space game and there's no train at all.
Well, they also make Roller Coaster Tycoon. Was my joke.
I know that.
Okay, it was bad.
So that's what I'm saying, though. If they I was trying to play on your joke. See, I thought I was doing good.
See, I busted it up badly. I'm sorry.
Stolen tritium cannot be donated into a fleet carrier's fuel depot. Fixed. Coming in update 7. Okay, all 82 of you repurpose your votes. Missions and rewards not sharing with the team. Literally, the thing that got added is not happening, I guess. This must be sometimes. Anyway, fixed in update 7. Super duper. All 82 of you, repurpose your votes, please. And that brings us to the end of our very exciting list. Does anybody else have any hot takes that they haven't submitted to the group yet?
Are you talking about the most important fix that I have yet to hear of on any tracker? That is my multicolored 07 pad numbers are still broken.
That's on the secret issue tracker.
Carrier bug.
Broken.
VIP secret issue tracker.
Look, they know how to fix this because
it used to be fixed.
They had it. They fixed it so fast. We didn't even want them to fix it.
I know, what the fuck?
You know, there's no mention of ugly federal Corvette in here anywhere.
Is that what you voted for? Is that where your vote is right now?
It's pretty high up there. I got to tell you, pretty high.
You know what they could do to fix the Corvette? Just remove it from the game.
Oh,
yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That would take care of that.
Muting my microphone now.
Problem.
You guys go ahead.
Oh boy, I'm just kidding, Ty. I love my Corvette also.
You know, while we're talking about just removing things from the game, let's just go ahead and knock engineering out real quick.
That reminds me. I thought you guys did a fantastic job at the podcast last week, except you had a discussion topic that I have so much to say about and could have participated in as a non-Odyssey player, and you picked the week of con to talk about it.
It's your time. Tell us right now.
No, I don't want to. I feel slighted, and now I'm going to take it out on you and the listeners.
Oh man, don't be bitter. But seriously, that's an interesting one. I would actually like to hear your take on that if you had any. And that kind of fits into this. We're talking about an issue tracker that has some issues that we're not even sure are issues that should be even talked about. And there are issues that should be on here, and that might be one of them.
And there are issues on there that are certainly not issues.
Correct.
Okay. So you're asking me about engineering now? Okay.
Yes.
So I do not think engineering should be removed from the game, and I think that it's kind of a necessary part of any game that goes on for a long time, that is open-ended. Let me say it like that, because there has to be a longer progression than just A-rating your ships, and having the engineering does allow you to do so many more different combinations of things and push ships in different directions. I don't even hate how, like, the harping on the 70% damage bonus to multi-cannons. Like, I actually think there should be a significant power delta between unengineered and engineered, and there should be a lot of work to get it. So I guess I'm in support of the materials being hard to find and there being a dramatic change in how the ship performs. But let's see, like philosophically, I do think that the biggest kind of overstep was not making it rock paper scissors enough, which I think you guys said quite clearly. Not having to give up something to get that 70%, and in some cases you do, in some cases you don't. I think like the multi-cannons are an interesting example because technically they're suffering the same penalties that any other weapon is suffering for that. It's just because it's percentage based, there's almost nothing going on there. But on the other hand, they have limited ammunition, and that's a major difference from heat heavy lasers and stuff like that.
It only matters.
Yeah, probably the power plant is pretty indefensible part of it, because that is just like you said, like all of the mods are just good, and they don't have really a downside, except you can't really use armored on something you want to go really, really fast. But I don't know. I guess so. The trouble is you can't put any of that back in the jar because you can't really take things away from people. So it's there, and I don't like having to have so many of these things. I do wish there was some kind of solution about, after you've engineered a thing, I sort of feel like, I should just be able to order them or something. But I think that about all modules. I think I should be able to order a module from a different station and have it sent to me, have it built and sent to me. So I should be able to order it from the engineer. And maybe the cost is significant or whatever, but why can't I order it manufactured the way it is? And but you gotta have mats in there somewhere, because it has to be something that you can't just do right away without having to take some extra steps. But the extra steps are so onerous to have to grind for them. So maybe something in between would be nice. Having to do the unlocks, having the unlocks be very significant, and then after that, maybe the rolls only cost one of each item or something.
Yeah, I would go for that.
Yeah, I mean, lore-wise, the roll. And you guys said this, that I picked up on that right away. The lore-wise, the roll thing is very stupid, and it's not necessary to justify any of the things that I'm citing as reasons why materials and engineers were sort of like necessary to add. It's a way of stretching out the game. But the rolls are really unnecessary. They could just be, it'll increase it this much per, every biotech conductor I throw at my thrusters is going to increase them this much or something. That's fine, right? That's just find some more, eventually get it. Maybe each grade should cost one, and then they're very hard to find, and then nobody would need to grind for them. And then, but ultimately, I keep circling back to it's here though. Like, if they take away the ability to re-roll high-grade emissions, then people will lose their minds. Even if you only needed five of the unit to totally engineer a thruster, you would still have people. Well, but I used to be able to get them easier, So people do like the option to grind, even if they hate grinding. They would prefer it to not grinding, don't they?
But people only like the option to grind because you need so many of the resources to do anything.
Yeah.
If the number of resources was brought down so that you didn't have to grind, there will always be a handful of people who will complain no matter what changes. But most people would be okay with, hey, I get 3 from a high grade emission, but I only need 5 to fully max it anyway. Most people, I think, would be okay with that.
Yeah, I think that all sounds good. I think I basically agree with everything to do with the mats that most people seem to think. Like it's just too much. That's not the fun part. The fun part is progressing. The fun part is getting that plus 70% on my ship. So that's the gameplay. But I disagree with the idea that 70% is too much and that ships are broken because of it. Like maybe the power plant there should be some more penalties and things, but I think there should be a wide delta in how much they change ships because that's what adds interest to how they're built.
Yeah,
but there has to be a downside to that too, though.
If there were downsides, if there were more significant downsides, I mean, some of the blueprints have some downsides. Lightweighting things has some significant downsides, for example, but there is always, there's the efficient mod on guns that has literally no downside except that it's not as powerful as overcharge. That's the only like quote unquote downside to that one.
Exactly. But I think one of the things that Dubs, the point that he was trying to make is the fact that it, literally makes unengineered ships, completely unfeasible. It's such a widespread from an unengineered ship to a G5. And that's why, the 70% is something we talked about. And,
but any multiplayer game where there's leveling and progression of items, like, if I go into any of these games and if I'm like a level 10 versus a level 70 player, it's way further delta than anything in this game between an A-rated ship and a fully engineered ship. That giant delta that you're citing as a problem, that's minuscule compared to every other MMO I've ever seen.
Yes, but other MMOs,
because they have to stretch the game out. Like that's how you're stretching the game out is adding progression, and that means if you go back and compare yourself to how you were at an early level, it's going to be wild and incomparable.
Yes, but that's, I understand that, but a lot of, most other MMOs are more like an amusement park where you go and play. This is more of a sim, and that's where, it bothers me. I understand the leveling progression side of it, but I play this more as a space sim.
This isn't a fantasy MMO. This is, well, I mean, I guess it kind of might be, but it's not the same.
This is real life.
It's real, guys. This is really happening. But no, I still think there's too wide of a spread. Like, I think engineering should give your stuff flavor, but not just completely overwhelming, just ownership of some poor fucking dude that didn't G5 his ship out. Like, I like the idea of being able to apply thermal weapon effects to my multi-cannons. And yes, the heat output significantly rises. So, hey, there is a legitimate downside to that specific engineering class or whatever. But that special effect. If they just increase the penalties and just, I don't know, just roll it around a little bit different. It's going to be hard at this point, though. Like you said,
I don't think it could happen.
Yeah, like once you give a fucking baby a sucker, you can't take it back or he's gonna fucking cry about it.
So okay, I've been saying for quite a while now, I think they need to re-engineer engineering. But
nice tagline.
I know, like yeah. I've
call it re-engineering.
I've actually been, I've been thinking about how to do that, and I've been. It's weird you guys started talking about it last week, because I've been thinking about like how do we get there? What's a good way to do engineering? And the best way I can think about it is that, number one, any sort of engineered module that has no side effects or has very limited side effects. A perfect example is efficient weapons. That needs to be base. They just need to factor that into the base DPS of the weapon, because basically everybody's going to have that. Because that there will automatically pull up everybody's base DPS across the board.
But that's not, you're taking away part of what's stretched out the game. Like if you don't have any, if your base weapon already has efficient mod on it, then you don't have to go around and unlock that engineer. And even if we reduce the mat capacity that needed to do that, you don't have to do any of that. So everybody just automatically has it. So you're shrinking the entire game. That's why that can't happen.
Yeah, I'm not against that.
Hold on. You don't necessarily like you're going to replace it with a different bonus, though. You're going to replace it with a different engineering thing that would factor in better to the overall playability of the game. You wouldn't say
you're thinking of like an actual solution from where we are now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it from like a numbers game, if basically everybody has efficiency on their pulse lasers and there's no real negativity to efficiency, well then give the base pulse laser that efficiency and come up with something else. And I don't know what it could be. It could be uh, better tracking on turrets or something. You know, I don't know what it could be. I'm just throwing out ideas here. But the idea being is that if there's no negativity to doing something, to modding something out, there's no point in doing it, because it just like you guys were saying, it should be a trade-off on everything that you do. Because I think about like when you buy a stock car and you go and you put in, you know, a little different computer, and you put in, you know, you put a turbo on it, and you put, I don't know, I'm not a car guy, you put all the things on it. Well, there's some negativity that comes with that you're shortening the life of the car, you're changing the tires to where they're not going to last as long. You're doing something to where the car is not as good in one way, but it's better in another. And I think, you know, one of the things they did with engineering, one of the things that Elite does very well, is that they don't have linear progression, they have lateral progression. Effectively, engineered Sidewinder can take out an engineered Anaconda or an engineered Vet or an engineered whatever. It can do it. It can happen, and that's something that, like in other MMOs, you know, a level one person is not killing a level 60 person. It's just not going to happen. You know, pretty much no matter what happens.
That's true.
That's something that they did very well early in game before engineering, and right now, kind of the way it is, it's a little more skewed toward the engineered Vet can take out the engineered Sidewinder. And there needs to be a better, I don't want to say level playing field, but they've kind of gotten a little bit away with engineering. They got a little away from the lateral progression with the engineering thing. It's gotten a little too far. And so they need to rein it in a little bit. The rolls is complete dog shit. It needs to go.
I think the roles are left over. It's probably because the original engineering was a role. It's not like you rolled it for advancement. Like, you just made a roll and that was it.
Right.
And if you didn't like it, you re-rolled, and it could have gotten worse. It could have got better. And then people were crying about that, so they said, "All right, it'll only get better when you roll again." And then that's how we got to where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's the rolling thing is a dog shit system, because once you hit about 50-60% on that level 5 roll, you get such bad data machine returns, it's not worth the material. Which is why I think there needs to be a better material trading system.
Oh God, yes.
You need to be able to exchange. You know, number one, they need to lower the rates. The rates are ridiculous. And number two, they need to make it to where you can exchange information for encoded for manufacturing. There needs to be a better trade system there.
Yeah.
The last thing is that when you sell a module or you take off the engineering of the module, you should get some of the materials back.
Oh, disagree.
Oh no, hard agree on that.
Sunk cost.
No.
I think you're making it too easy.
It's not necessarily about making it too easy. It's making it more accessible. And you know, I knew a guy who didn't engineer because he hated it so much, and he hated the whole material sinking. He thought it was really dumb that if he ever got rid of a ship or whatever, he got nothing back for that. So he just didn't do it. He was okay with it. But if he ever PvP'd, he was at a complete loss at that. And there's something missing there. And I don't know what
you just have to PvP. You have to like find a match with another unengineered ship, though. Like, if somebody's doing actual PvP, then they'd be able to say, okay, we're going to do this ship unengineered now and do this duel or this wing fight or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But if you're out there in the world, if you're out there in the world, you got to find a way around. I mean, whatever, we escaped from Fertilances with exploration ships. It can be done.
I mean, those exploration ships were engineered pretty well, though. Or are you talking about when we did the non-engineering escaping?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean, you can, in some instances,
It's
escape.
hard.
Yeah, you have to be a
And-
skilled player, and why would a skilled player be in an unengineered ship? Or a
Well,
long
okay,
time
but-
player. I don't know.
So we'll go back to the other thing though, like a Sidewinder against a large ship like a Corvette. I've seen a video of a Sidewinder taking out a Corvette, or was it an Anaconda? I don't know, but because of engineering, they were able to do it because even though maybe there isn't enough rock paper scissors, there is still a little bit of it, especially with the special effects. And a Sidewinder that had, I think it was a railgun and a mine, and they mined that shield generator until it was broken, or maybe it was missiles on the other gun instead of because that probably work a lot better on a Sidewinder than the heat from. Anyway, the point is, watch the video and yeah, it was tough, but they pulled it off. PvP fight, took out that Corvette or chased them off anyway. Got to the point where they were going to lose, but then the Corvette was able to leave, of course. But so I mean that can be done because of the special effects of engineering and because of engineering in general, because of being able to pump up the hull numbers on that Sidewinder and the thrusters and stuff and the distro, everything. So I don't know. I'm just I find myself skeptical that it's quite as bad as.
I also
tend
think they
to
should
think.
limit the amount of certain things that can be done. Like, why are you able to just keep putting hull reinforcements in your ship? Every single internal module completely decked out. I feel like ships should have a single slot for hull reinforcements, not just fill all the optional
Like
slots.
only military slots?
Yeah, like military slots are designed for that. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like, realistically, exactly how does filling your ship's internal bay with hull reinforcements, how is that fucking working? Come on, you guys keep telling us you don't want artificial gravity because it doesn't match the lore, it's not realistic, but you do that dumb shit. It's the same as telling us that there's no gameplay in ship interiors. Bullshit.
The fact you can't put a shield generator in a military slot still drives me nuts. But hey,
Oh, that
yeah.
drives me absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
but
Yeah, that's totally
I don't know.
wrong.
The whole I'm arguing on the engineering stuff just because it's something to argue about. I guess I don't really have a hard opinion either way at all. It's just me and Dubs were having a conversation in Discord one night. It's like, hey, there's a topic we can have on the show, so we have something to talk about.
We've officially ran out of things to talk about, guys. The game needs new things. Let's argue about engineering.
None of this is going to change, right? So we're not like in danger of anything like that happening. So, yeah. Anywho,
go ahead. I'm done.
No, I was gonna go on. You have more to say?
Yeah. So okay. So I think that we can all kind of agree that I don't necessarily think that the engineering system is broken. I just think it needs to change, and because I think it does really good on certain things, I think it does really bad on certain things, and it's a little cumbersome to use. I don't know. I don't really have a very good solution. I haven't come up with a very good solution for it yet. I thought I had a good one, but clearly I don't. I do think that they need to get rid of the roll system. I think that needs to go, but I think that we can all kind of agree that it needs to be overhauled, but not necessarily delete it and re-scrapped it. But I think it does need to be overhauled. So I think we all agree with that.
What
I can take it or leave it.
Yeah, I'm not. I think this all comes from the idea, like whenever somebody has to grind for mats, that's when they start to get upset about engineering again, right? And if you have the mats, engineering is really not that bad and makes your ship more fun. So, and then you can deal with the nuances of but it should have been a little different. And then you go having to hunt for mats again. Like I engineered like 4 or 5 ships in a row. I had tons of mats, but now I'm running low. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I just won't feel the need to build a ship for a while, and maybe I won't feel that burn. Maybe I'll just slowly accumulate materials the organic way or something. But
you can't slowly or accumulate materials the organic way because there's literally there's not no, but there's almost no organic way to collect 4s and 5s.
well, sure, there is for missions. What do you mean?
Yeah, missions are high grade.
That's why I said there's almost no. I mean,
but like that's what we're doing all the coming from you, Nurgle. Please, it's just like what we're doing all the time is BGS missions, and I'm getting biotech conductors all the time.
Well, that makes one of us, but I don't see them that often. Exquisite focus crystals I seem to see a lot, but
yeah, I see a lot of that. Yeah,
yeah.
Look, we've discussed this for quite a while. I'm curious because this came, we were talking about the issue tracker. Where would you put fixing engineering on the list of? They've got a list of 20 here. Would overhauling engineering be on that list for you guys? Would it make your top 20 things that need to be fixed?
I think it would replace number 5.
Or 5. Yeah, 5 sounds good. Replace that one.
We could kick 5 off the list and move everything else up. I don't know, things that like bugs, like the hang on exit is a pretty low priority thing. I'm surprised that's that high. Like it's literally not even impacting. It's only a problem when you quit the game. That is highly
They don't want you to
questionable.
quit. That's why it's a problem.
Well, the 247 people upvoted that like that's where they're putting their one vote on the issue tracker. This is literally the one bug that doesn't interfere with your gameplay, that can't interfere with your gameplay
by definition.
Yeah, I'm boggled by that. I don't think I even fully grasped it until just now.
That's the one that boggles you, but the fleet carrier doesn't go to your total whatever total.
That makes more sense to be higher on the list if I'm being completely honest, because
it should be easy to fix too
in the game. Well, it also should be easy to fix.
I'm just curious as to how that number affects gameplay. Like, who fucking cares what the total assets are?
Some people, that's all they care about, man.
Yeah, nothing's based on that, is it? It's not like
literally nothing. Like
based on it
unless you're one of those guys who took advantage of the fucking SLF what do you call it, mining thing, and just have 40 billion credits. Like, nobody cares. It doesn't matter.
What I'd rather see fixed than that is the stupid new Elite +++ ranks they put in.
Yeah,
I think that that's fucking retarded, and I think that it's absolutely stupid that you didn't get credit for what you did in the past. Somebody who's been to Beagle Point 5 times should have, as soon as Odyssey launched, had Explorer Elite +5, but they don't. They haven't. It's.
Oh, do you mean stupid. Because it's not retroactive?
It's not retroactive.
Yeah. Well, that's obviously very misplaced.
To me, that should be a bug, but they won't even really comment on it, so I don't know why it's that way.
I feel completely certain that the reason they did it that way was very intentional, so that everyone had to get out there and do more playing of the game.
Yeah,
they weren't just going to hand it to people who had already played the game, because their whole thing is to get people in here playing so that they'll buy arcs, right? So obviously that's the reason.
100%.
So the thing though is that when you say you're mad about the +++, there's like two schools of being mad about it, right? Because you have the legitimate reason for being mad, and then there's the Shan from Lave Radio version of being mad, which is you just don't like that it's written that way. Which I know I'm not like a beta backer or whatever. I don't have the pedigree to do that, but like saying that Elite means something different because there's versions past Elite is well, whatever. They've talked about this to death, and Colin telling him exactly what degrees of black belt means, and if that doesn't convince him, then he's just, So anyway, that's what I thought you were getting into, though. You were like, I'm mad that they called it the ++. Obviously, having Elite still had, having Elite in trade still has the same amount of money attached to it. So it actually still means the same achievement to have triple Elite as it did before, and now there's just more. It's the same thing as engineering. It's just extending the possible notation of how far you've gotten into the game, and And that's the whole point of a game like this, where the business model is largely selling arcs, right? It's just keeping players in here and extending.
Yeah,
how
but
much
the guy,
life they can have.
the guy
they
who's
can do
already
that.
has 7,000 hours and would have been, elite plus. That they
It
earned
invalidates
that
the measurement.
already.
Right.
know?
It invalidates the membership, the measurement if your total sales would exceed +5 and you don't
Yep.
have it retroactively. Absolutely, without question.
And that's where I think it failed.
So you'd put
They
that on
keep their
on
player
your
base
list.
with new
Yeah,
features.
I
more
would.
That would
grinding.
replace 5 for me for sure.
Yeah. All right.
And if their goal is to get people to keep playing so they buy more arcs, they missed a golden opportunity with the 07 landing pad for fleet carriers, because that was a license to
kidding.
print money.
Or
Mhm.
ship
Yep.
interiors.
Well, so right.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So is 100 other things they've cut from their plan.
I mean,
I'm not buying. I don't know if this has been made not clearer, but obviously I'm very important, and I'm not buying any arcs because I
kind of a big
unbought
deal.
something from them. Don't you know who I am?
Yeah.
I actually had a question about that. So,
Yeah.
quick survey here. Since Odyssey, who has purchased arcs?
Not a penny.
No.
No.
I won't give them any money for
So
a
nobody.
while.
Nobody.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I
what-
know of a lot of people who have.
So a lot of people have. You think?
Yeah,
For their suits
like
and
the
shit.
moment it came out, spent $50 because they just had to buy all those suit and gun cosmetics.
I don't
right
feel
then.
like I've gotten my $60 worth from the base Odyssey. What it added on to Horizons yet?
No.
There you go.
See, that's where I'm at. I don't feel like I got my money's worth for what they've given
Yeah.
me so far. So why am I going to spend more money with them?
Yeah, I'm not even. I had arcs in my account from before, and I haven't even spent arcs in
No.
game.
Yeah.
Let alone buy arcs. I haven't spent arcs.
Yeah, I'm actually
And-
sitting on like 5,000 or 6,000 arcs right now.
Oh,
that I
I'm
got
I'm
just
at
from-
I'm at like 11,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got like
I'm a guy that a couple of times a year, especially if they ran a sale, would buy $20, $25 worth of arcs because I just wanted to support the company and support the game.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it's going to be a little while before they get any from me.
Yeah.
They got my $60 for Odyssey, which I feel like I grossly overpaid for, and that's going to have to ride for a while.
I mean, you're talking to a guy who has every single paint job and skin for one particular ship and hates every single one of them right now.
Yeah.
And
what ship is that?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
the
The Imperial Cutter.
Shut your damn mouth. Anyway,
The Federal
uh,
Courier? What?
anyway, it's the Federation Eagle is what it is.
Yeah.
Federation
Okay.
Eagle. Okay.
Good choice. Good
And,
choice.
and how about that embossed hood ornament?
It just
Really sticks in your craw, huh?
it sticks in my craw like y'all.
That
would
should
not
be
believe.
on the tracker.
It should.
Start voting that up and get that on there. That should be fixed.
I guess where I was driving with it, I'm getting tired, so I'm probably about to go to bed. But I'm starting to ramble. But
Oh,
I
Ty's
guess
tired. We got to close the show out.
Old man tie.
old man, yeah, I'm starting to get old man. Let me tell you. I guess where I was driving with this was the whole. I don't quite like the shit. Like you don't even have to do a full ship interiors. You could just do. Let me repaint my bridge. Let me repaint my cockpit.
Yeah.
They could sell cockpit colors. Make it to where you can't change your cockpit colors anymore. Or just leave it. Make it to where you could leave it where you
Oh,
still
you mean
can.
your displays? The HUD.
Yeah. Make it to where you can buy custom ones.
Yeah, what? Seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
They got those people doing the HUD mod and they're having to regenerate the graphics and replace files and all this stuff. Like that should have been arcs right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
should have been just like your laser colors.
It that seems like that's something that's easy to change. So, I mean, I don't know how much arcs they're really earning or how much arcs they're really trying to earn from this game whenever they're missing, to me, what I would consider to be very obvious, very easy grabs. Why can't I paint the wallpaper on my Crate Mark II red? You don't have to change anything else. Just let me paint the walls red.
Because then it would be a phantom.
because you already got the fucking files.
Why
Already
can't I
got
put a
the
coffee
textures.
maker in every ship?
Amen.
I mean, you kind of see where I'm dropping with that. It feels like that these are low
everybody's
hanging
here.
fruits that they should grab if they're really trying to get ARC and get people to do that, or get more ARCs and get people to buy that shit. Man, that's low hanging fruit. So I don't know if I can get on board the whole that they want people to play the game longer for ARCs. I mean, yeah, they obviously do because they want more money there. But at the same time, I'm like, man, you are missing really easy stuff to get more ARCs. So
They need to stop being lazy and incompetent, is what you're saying.
It's not just ARCs. It's that damn player engagement metric that they push out to stockholders and stuff. Oh, we had this many people spending this many hours in the game that they think is. I don't want to say it's not meaningful because it is, but I don't think it means what they think it means. Because you can have high player engagement and you can have people very upset with your game.
Yeah.
I'll be curious,
Really?
when is the next investor meeting? And we get that kind of inside look, they talk about that, what they've sold and player retention, and, they go through all that to the investors. When does that hit again?
it should be coming up.
You'd think.
I would like to see what the player retention looks like.
They're supposed to be.
Do they
doing,
show that? I don't
They'll
know.
usually
I don't remember what they say.
mention a thing or two if it's good. My guess is they leave it out if it's bad.
So, I mean,
Well, there might be some public-facing parts of it and some private-facing parts.
Yeah, you have to remember the parts that they announced. Those are spins on positive aspects of the game, and they do that on purpose. Which every company does it. So, but anyway.
All right. This
I'm
got
tired.
pig kicky pretty quickly.
Picky?
But that's okay. Picky? Pig kicky?
Pig kicky?
Kissy.
Pig
Just
kicky.
roll with it.
Pig
Pagicky?
kicky. Pig kicky. Anyway, so Chig, is there a Chig chat?
Nah.
All right.
We've been talking a long time.
Who put this
I've
in
got
community
cheesy
comms? Who
Oh,
put
that
this
was-
in community comms?
That was me. That got sent to
Tell me
me.
about it.
That got sent to me, and it's like a little 47 second video of somebody remade one of the iconic scenes from Star Wars in an elite way. And it's pretty cool. So check it out, have a good laugh at it, and enjoy.
When the classic scene when Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Jar Jar Binks sailed through the middle of Naboo and escaped from the giant fish.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay,
Oh, that's my-
check the
that's my
show notes
favorite
for a
movie.
YouTube link. Oh God. Okay. Let's I'm gonna do this ending stuff, and we're gonna cheese, and then we're gonna let Ty go to bed. If you like the show, please rate and review on your greatest, most excellent, most awesome podcast app, because that's fun and it helps us. Join us on Discord at discord.io/loosescrews, because we're fun and we can help you. And then check out the merch store at loosecruised.com for mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Loose Screws ED is that, and there's fun stuff, and buy yoga pants, I guess. And what's left to be cheesed?
Don't have an actual cheese this week, but it's cheese related since we're getting into that kind of thing now. I discovered something randomly today when I was looking for cheeses. There's a website called Yes Cheese DLH. DLH is short for Duluth, where I live.
Okay.
It's yescheesedlh.com. It's literally these two ladies started a cheese delivery service where they make custom cheese platters, with some meats and fruits and specialty cheeses, and deliver them to your home. So
beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm going to order one of these tomorrow, I think, just because it looks freaking awesome. They go from, a small cheese box for $25 to a large for $40 to a catering platter for $75. Might get a few of these.
All right.
But I recommend
platters?
checking it out.
We know where Chig is headed.
And then seeing where, I'd be curious other towns that have services like this, because this is really goddamn cool. It's not like a restaurant threw it together. This is just these ladies decided to do this, and they look amazing. So that's all I got for cheese stuff. Stay cheesy.
The ladies or the cheese?
I was going to say that.
Cheese.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so I guess for next week, for the 2-year anniversary, we'll have a cheese platter review.
No,
Nope.
not for me.
Oh,
No,
that's
I won't.
right.
I
You're
won't
gonna
be
be gone.
here. Yeah, I'll be in South Dakota.
Well, then, for the first episode in our set of 300 episodes, it'll be
Now,
G's
just
review.
stop.
What?
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining me and for listening. Ty, Nurgle, Data, Dubs, Chig, thank you, and we'll see you next time. Fly loose and screwy.
Bye-bye.
Good night.